Hey, what's happening, folks? I'm over here at the light table, and I haven't been here in a while. I haven't listed much on eBay, and so I figured, I better get over here to the light table and try to get some work done. If you guys watched my last video, I really wasn't feeling very well. I had a hard time breathing, and I was, coughing up a bunch of phlegm and everything. It was really gross. But my main concern was I was just having a hard time breathing. I would walk 10 steps and just feel completely winded. I had to lean on something and try to catch my breath again. And it just got to be where I couldn't even do anything. I was just totally out of it. And originally I thought it might have been pneumonia because I had pneumonia back in 2014 and I had a pulse ox of like 70. It was a bad situation. This particular time, it didn't quite seem like pneumonia, so I ended up going to the urgent care about a month ago, and they gave me a prescription for some antibiotics. I took them, but it didn't do anything, and it just seemed like the cold was getting worse and worse. So yesterday, I decided to go over to the ER with my dad. I think we were in there for about 7 hours. They took an x-ray, they did an EKG, took some blood work, and they ended up diagnosing me with bronchitis with a sinus infection. So they had this nebulizer, and they gave me a breathing treatment, and almost immediately I started feeling much better. They also gave me some more antibiotics. I'm feeling much better now. I'm able to do a little bit of work, and I think within the next 10 days I'll probably be completely healed. I wasn't really able to do much work last week. I think the biggest thing that I did was to film those golf clubs that I had from last year. So it did take me the whole day to pretty much photograph them because I was having a hard time walking around and breathing. But I did get them photographed. I just need to get them listed. I've got these little manuals that I'm going to try to list. This is an old juicer manual. I'm just going to throw this up there for $12.95. I don't know if it'll sell or not, but somebody might buy it just to have it with their old machine. And this is a little pet safe manual. I found this dispenser at the dump. I didn't pay anything for it other than my little donation. And I don't like to sell stuff like this because I don't really know how to properly test everything. I ended up just taking the cord, and there's a little separator part, and I listed those on eBay. And I think the separator is like $25 and the cord's like $15. I'm just going to throw away the rest. A couple of weeks ago when I was at the Salvation Army, I picked up a vintage 1985 food processor, and these are the parts that came with the food processor. It's a very rare machine. It's called the Magimix 1800. I've never heard of the brand before, but it had all of those attachments, and I got it for 15% off of 15. So I figured I'd take a gamble. Unfortunately, the bowl, which usually sells for pretty good money, is broken. But what I'm going to try to do is make a variation listing and see if I can't sell those blades and extra parts. I picked these up at the dump a few days ago. They're little wallpaper borders. There were a bunch of packages. They're all made by the same company, but there are two different models. I just kind of put them all in the bag. And I'm going to see if I can't sell them as a lot. I found this last Thursday when I was at the Salvation Army. It was $2.55, and it's a Sunbeam Mixmaster. I've sold this one in the past, and they do really well. Being it was only $2.55, I should be able to sell it for about $25 or $30. I did test it before I left, and it works fine. I think I've probably sold this at least twice before in the past. I don't find them too often, but it's a nice mixer, and I know somebody's going to appreciate it. The Salvation Army has been really, really short lately. They just either haven't had a whole lot, or the stuff is getting bought up really quickly, because I only go out there about once a week now, just because I've got so much back stock. But usually I can go out there and find, at least 5 or 6 items, but lately it just hasn't been great. I think it was the week before last when I went, I didn't find anything at all. I take that back. I found 2 of these Rubbermaid containers. I think I paid like 25 cents a piece for them. I've listed one, and I'm going to list this tomorrow. These actually sell for pretty good money. I think I paid like $2.55 for these. I should be able to sell these for about $25 plus shipping. I believe these are from either the 80s or the 90s. They are made in the USA, And people just like this kind of thing. I should make some pretty good money on it, but I might have to wait a while. I found this at the dump. It is a day clock, some type of clock. The time comes up, and I'm not really sure how it works, but it was free at the dump, so I figured I'd just go ahead and give it a shot. I did look it up. It looked like they were selling for a few dollars. Somebody actually donated these to the dump last Saturday. It was basically the only thing that I found out there, but I paid like $2 for a donation, and there were these two 40-volt battery chargers, and I think they sell for about maybe $20 a piece plus shipping. My dad has the same setup, so I did test them with a battery, and they seem to be charging fine. I guess it was probably about a month or so ago when I picked up 2 boxes full of these strategy guides. There's a bunch of different manuals. I think I have like 14 or 15 different manuals. There's just 2 big full boxes. I got them at the dump when a guy was dropping them off, and I just got lucky and I went ahead and grabbed them all. They've been selling a little bit in my eBay store. They definitely don't sell very quickly, and they don't sell for a lot of money, and they are kind of a pain to ship. I've actually got to put them between 2 pieces of cardboard. That way, you know, they don't get damaged. I've already had people leave positive feedback, so it looks like the shipping method is working out pretty well. I even listed a lot of 15 for like $49.95. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get $50 for it or not, but, you know, I'll just keep lowering the price until somebody buys it. I just listed this glove a little while ago. It's a Rawlings catcher glove. It's not in bad shape. You know, it's, you know, definitely usable. The only thing is it does have a little bit of damage right here. I don't know, somebody might have to end up putting a new lace or something in there because it's not, you know, it's not there anymore. So we'll see. I couldn't find any of these that were actually listed, so I ended up doing a TerraPeak search, and it looks like these are selling for really, really good money. I saw some that had sold for like $179 plus shipping in used condition. I don't think I would ask $179 because of the damage, but I did list this for $159.95 plus shipping, and I'm probably going to do a video since they have a new video feature on YouTube, and maybe somebody will like it just a little more because of the video. I'm curious to see what it's going to look like to have a video in an eBay listing. That should be interesting. Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm out here at the van. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I pretty much pulled an all-nighter last night and stayed up till about 7:30 this morning, and I'm just waking up now. These antibiotics are making me a little bit restless, so I'm just kind of like sleeping whenever. I wanted to show you guys some of the other items that I found over at the dump. So I found all of these weights over there Saturday, and it came with this big tall bar right here that I gotta get out of the van. I don't think I'm gonna try to sell this because it's just really big and heavy, but I might try to take these pieces off right here and sell those. There's also a smaller one back here. And then, of course, there are all of these individual weights. Believe it or not, guys, these actually can sell for really good money. These are vintage weights. There's 2 different brands. One is a Weeder, I think it's called, or Wider. And then there's Orbitron. I looked them up on eBay, and these individual weights do have some value. I've never sold weights before, but since I got them at the dump for next to nothing, I ended up just loading up the van with them. These things were so heavy, though, I had to end up getting a cart to help me with all this stuff. And luckily, they had one. I also got this big bag yesterday at the dump, and what I'll probably do is just take this out and show you what I got yesterday. I went ahead and grabbed some clear items. I've had this thing listed for a long time. I couldn't even sell it for $10, and it's been listed over a year. I think what I'm going to try to do is just part it out, but I need to photograph it outside because white on white is just no good. And then I have a bunch of these little Rubbermaid Serve and Savor drink containers. I haven't been able to sell them, but I'm going to reshoot the photos and see if I can have some success. Alright, so I just got over here to my dad's planters, but I had 2 of these listed, and there was that odd one there listed. They were listed for over a year, and I just couldn't seem to sell them. I found another one, so I decided to put all 3 together and see if I can't sell them in a lot of these 4. As you can see, they look a whole lot better, you know, outside on a planter like this than if I were to shoot it, you know, behind a white background. Okay, I just got done photographing that clear stuff. I think what I'll probably try to do is clean these up tonight. Those are toolboxes for power tools. I found them over at the dump last week. They were actually in the metal pile, and I saw them. I'm like, ooh, I gotta get these. I usually do pretty well with cases like that. I generally sell them for like 15 to 20 a piece plus shipping, so should do okay. They were free. All right, coming to you live from the outdoor chair. I'm sitting over here looking at some of the items that I picked up at the dump yesterday. I found this cool little game called The Magic Labyrinth. Some kind of kids game. I ended up looking it up, and it looks like they're selling for about $25. I ended up just giving a little donation when I left, so I didn't pay a whole lot for it. There were also these homeschooling books made by Teaching Strategies. This is the creative curriculum. This is volume 2. Looks like there's volume 5 and volume 1. It looks like these sell for a little bit of money. I think what I'll probably do is try to lot them together. My bag was getting a little bit full yesterday. I saw that there were these 6 seasons of Will and Grace. I'm hoping they're all there, and I'm hoping they're in decent shape. I looked it up, and it looked like a lot of the folks were selling like lots like this for pretty good money, so I'm hoping I can too. This is something I got Saturday when I picked up all of that weight stuff. I used to sell these all of the time. They're from Bob's Furniture here in New England. It's a big furniture outlet store. And these are like bottles of wood cleaner. It's still sealed in the original package. I used to sell these for about $17 free shipping. They're too heavy to go first class, so you need to put them in a priority mailing envelope. So you don't make a whole lot on them, but a few bucks is a few bucks. So that's everything that I found yesterday. There were a few things that I accidentally left. There was another book there, and I scanned it, and like 3 or 4 people were selling it for like $40, but I saw no solds, so I left it. And then last night I did a Terapeak search, which goes back for an entire year, and found that one person had sold a pre-owned copy of that book for $40 plus shipping. So I'm going to try to go back tomorrow and see if I can't find it. They now have a little hole in the wall that they put the books through, and the book depository is on the back of the wall. So they've probably already dumped it, but if they haven't, I'm going to grab it. If it's gone, it just wasn't meant to be. I also saw they had some really nice UNESCO vintage, like rabbit statues. But unfortunately, my bag was completely full, and I didn't want to seem greedy. So I just kind of left, and I'm hoping they'll be there the next time I go, which should be tomorrow. It looked like they were selling for between $15 and $30 a piece, and there were like 3 of them. So I'm hoping nobody caught me slipping. Anyway, I'm going to go check on Mr. K. I'll be back with you shortly. Hey, what's happening, guys? It's the next day, and I'm over here at the light table because I went out thrifting today, and I went to the dump. And I also went over to my good friend Jim's estate sale that he was having. So I ended up getting a few items, and I just wanted to show you guys what all I found today. Yesterday I mentioned that I left a few items at the dump. So I ended up going out there this morning with my dad. We had to drop a mattress off, and he's never been out there before. So I actually brought him into the swap shack, and he picked out a few items for himself, and we dropped that mattress off. And I actually was able to pick up a few items from yesterday. I mentioned that I left that book there yesterday because I didn't think it sold for very much money, but one had sold for $40. So I ended up going back and getting it. Unfortunately, there's a new listing for $25. So I might just put mine up for $29.95 and just wait it out. I mentioned that they had these little statues there yesterday. There were 3 of them, but unfortunately somebody grabbed the best one, but they still left me 2. The first is this little fella right here. Sadly, there's no styrofoam, but it looks like it's in good shape, and I should be able to hopefully get a few bucks for it. They also had this guy right here. This is a bigger one, and I don't feel like taking it out of the box. But you can see it kind of looks like that right there, except it's very large. There was also this Rawlings glove. It looks like this probably sells for about $15 plus shipping. That's all that I found over the dump. Then I ended up shooting over to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army really didn't have a whole lot of stuff for me today, but I did find a few items, and I spent a total of $12. I guess it's probably just because we're, rolling off of the winter now, but there's just been a lot of slim pickings over at my Salvation Army. They're doing the best they can, I'm sure of it, but you know, they only get what they get. I did manage to pick up this Gilbert Nano Ceramic. I paid $3 for it, and I think these sell for about 10 to 15 plus shipping. I thought this was actually an interesting piece. I walked by it several times over at the Salvation Army today, and all it is a little record player looking scotch dispenser. It was $2. It feels kind of heavy. It doesn't really look like it does anything special. It just, you know, you put tape on there and, you know, that's it. But I decided to look it up just because I've never seen one before. And when I looked it up, it looked like one recently had sold for about $30 in pre-owned condition. So I figured I better get this for $2. When I was over at the Salvation Army today, one of my friends who works over there today came out and he gave me this right here. He said that it didn't come with any power cables, so they were going to throw it away, but they decided to hold on to it because they know I like this kind of stuff. And it's a portable RCA DVD player with monitor. I believe it's 2 monitors. One probably has the DVD player. And I don't really have a way to test them, so I'm going to try to test them. I'm going to see if I can't power it up somehow. And it didn't cost me anything. In worst case scenario, I can sell them for something, for parts or repair. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I saw her put out this really nice KitchenAid today, and I totally had to get this. When I saw the $7 price tag, I was like, hell yes. I've actually sold the pitcher before for probably about $30 or $40 plus shipping, but I might try to sell this whole unit. It looks like they sell for about $70 plus shipping. And the last thing that I found over there today was this little set of Tupperware measuring spoons. These actually ended up being free because I paid $12 for everything, so I guess this was the discount for today. It looks like these sell for about $10 plus shipping, so these will probably pay for most of everything over here. After I left the Salvation Army, I was just going to go hit the more than the thrift, but I remembered that my good friend Jim, who owns an estate sale company, was having an estate sale today, and he invited me to come, and it was only about 20 minutes away, so I decided to go up there and try my luck. You know, I figured, hell, if I don't find anything, I'll go up there and hang out with Jim. He's like a brother to me, so, you know, I just like hanging out with him. So it was going to be a win no matter what. But I ended up going out there, and I had a great time. I only stayed for about 2 hours, but I did find a few items, and he sold me all this stuff for $10. Yeah, the first thing I found was this lot of 19 books. They're by the author Andrea Camilleri. And they do have some like spots and stuff on the books, so they're not in the best of condition. But I did look them up, and it looked like lots of these types of books were selling for okay money. I'll probably take a little bit of a hit with the condition. But like I said, I only paid $10 for all this stuff, so I think there's definitely room for a little bit of profit. I also got this little Roku. It came with the remote, but we're not sure if this is the actual remote or not. There was the power cable. I think I saw one sell for like $22 with the remote, but I'm not sure if this is the right one, so maybe $15 free shipping. When I was in the living room, I saw that the man had a jar of these little items right here, and they're window cranks. I thought they might have been for Anderson, but these are from a company called Pello. They are scratched. They do look vintage, and they're not super expensive, but I think these will probably sell for about $12 to $15 a piece. They might be a little bit long tail, but the price was definitely right. There was also this little calculator over there. It is the SR-40. It's got a little bit of corrosion in the back. Right now I don't have a battery readily accessible, but I don't know, maybe it'll work. It did come with the case, and there's a manual in there. I also found these 2 vintage Tupperware hourglass salt and pepper shakers. They are a little grody, and they still have the salt and pepper in them, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. And I'm probably going to have to soak these in hot water, but I'm pretty sure I could sell these for about $18 shipped. And the last thing that I found over at that estate sale today was this Cuisinart panini maker. I think that it's new open box. This This thing was packed in there tight, and I pulled it all out just to take a look at it. But as far as I could tell, I believe it's still new. I won't sell it as new, though. So that's pretty much everything that I found while I was out and about today. Tomorrow is Friday, and all that I'll be doing is just listing. I want to try to catch up a little bit. It seems like I'm always bringing in new stuff, and it can get a little hard to keep up with. The antibiotics that I'm taking are really helping to, break this congestion up, and I'm feeling a whole lot better. I'm actually feeling, just blessed to be alive. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go get some sleep, and that way I can wake up tomorrow and get busy. It's really nice talking to you guys again. We will talk soon. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I make videos about once a month. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great night.